Hey y'all, how you doing? Loving Life Freely back here with you. If you're new here, welcome. This is our weekly reseller chat, and I have some really great information with you that I'd like to share on more keywords. I'm super excited to share with you. First of all, before we get started on that, I would like to say welcome to you if you are brand new here and are a new reseller. Welcome to the community. Welcome to our weekly chat. We started this probably about a month ago now. And I've gotten so much great feedback from people, and just love to hear y'all's comments on things and different topics and stuff like that. If you are returning, I hope this has been a blessing to you. I know I have learned a lot. Between doing research and just wanting to learn more as a seller myself, we talked about last week how important keywords are for our listings. And our ultimate goal as resellers is to make sales, right? So the importance of our listings and having great keywords along with a great description is so important for, I do believe, making those sales because of how the algorithm works not only on the platforms as well as Google. So I'm going to dive in here. We have a few of these, so this will take up most of the reseller chat today. First of all, let me give you an update on how we are doing here. We're actually doing good. It's been kind of a crazy week as usual. We are expecting another 1.5 to 2 feet of snow between now and Friday, and this is Tuesday. So we've got another blizzard winter storm coming through, probably starting into the evening. So I may be snowbound for a couple days, but that's okay. As far as listings, I have noticed that my sales have been picking up. I do believe we are going into February. We are nearing the end of February now, y'all. And so we should start to be seeing an uptick in sales now. And I know I have definitely noticed a difference in sales. And believe it or not, Poshmark is actually doing better right now than all my other platforms, which I'm really happy with. eBay is coming in a close behind, and then Mercari is picking up. I haven't been able to list on Poshmark for a couple days because I had an issue with an extension I added for some things that I was doing. So I actually deloaded Google and reloaded it, and now everything's good. But for a couple of days, I wasn't listing on Poshmark, and I still made some sales. So I think the fact that I've been listing a lot of items per day, averaging 10 to 15 items per day on top of what I'm doing on Whatnot and on the other platforms, I think that has been helping. And also, as you all know, I've been changing and tweaking the types of items that I'm listing as well. We will go into that at another time. I don't want to take up too much of your time on my update. I am feeling better. I was sick for about a week and a half, down for a few days, but you know how the congestion kind of sits there. So thank you so much for your grace last week when I was doing my my weekly chat. I was still really kind of recovering, and my voice was kind of going out a little bit. So I appreciate your grace on that. You know, I'm kind of excited about this week as far as our style tags. And I think shirts or tops or whatever you want to call it, it can go in even to dresses and different things, is a huge one because a lot of women sell tops and dresses as well as pants. And women's clothing is one of the hugest things, one of the biggest things for women when we resell. Women's clothing is one of the main things that women focus on. Some women do sell kids' clothes and some women do sell men's clothes, but for the most part, honestly, I think a lot of women focus on women's fashion because it's something they're comfortable with. And I think tops is such a huge amount, tops and dresses is such a big thing for us selling, right? So I thought going into sleeve, the different types of sleeves is what we're going to discuss today. I am going to put up some screenshots so you can see, and I'm also going to read the definition, of these tags. So I'm going to show you here, and then we're going to go into the definition so you can actually hear what it's supposed to look like, and you can see a picture of what it's supposed to look like. And to be honest with you, some of these kind of surprised me. I've known about some of them for a while, and I actually use a couple of these myself, but some of them I haven't really focused on, like using the tag for that type of sleeve in my listings. And I think that might be helping if I were to do that. So I thought I would share this information with you as well. Hopefully, some of these style tags may be new to you. If they aren't, do feel free to comment down below if you already knew about some of them. If you didn't know about some of them, I would love to know that too. And if this helps you, would love to know that. So the first one is bishop sleeve. Now, I do believe that bishop sleeve is one of those in the reselling community we've known about, but some people may not be actually using it. And I do believe, especially this day and age, with sleeves that I've seen around in different territories, that people are wearing these sleeves sometimes, especially if you're using workwear. I think you would definitely see this in workwear. And let me read the definition to you. I pulled up the definitions as well. I'll be putting the screenshot over here for you. So bishop sleeve, a long sleeve, fuller at the bottom than at the top, and gathered into the cuff, formerly worn by women. Okay. So as you can see the picture over here, it's, you do see this style sometimes in business wear when women are wearing nice skirts, pencil skirts or fit flare skirts, and they have a nice beautiful blouse on that sometimes has a little bit more of a detail, and it'll have that type of sleeve. So that's that one. The next one is a cap sleeve. Now this is definitely one that I've used in the past. I actually use it frequently because this is one that I have been very familiar with. Cap sleeve is a sleeve extended only a short distance from the shoulder and tapering to nothing under the arm. So it just comes down here and you don't really get it down by the pit, right? Obviously, you'll see the screenshot over here. I won't keep saying I'll show the screenshot because you'll just see it. I'll have it up while I'm talking about each one, so you won't have to worry about that. All right, the next one is a bell sleeve. And this one also I think is definitely common in the reseller community. Because I have actually seen it in some of the listings, but I do think that it could probably be added more sometimes. So bell sleeve ends anywhere from the elbow to the wrist. Flared sleeve ending at the upper bicep are primarily shaped, but are instead called butterfly sleeves. So that's interesting. So as we can see with the bell sleeve, it basically just flares out like a big bell at the bottom, right? And a lot of women like those really flowing, like the pants or dresses, they're flowing and really wide. The bell sleeve, I think, is coming back. I'm seeing more and more women wearing bell sleeves where they have a wide sleeve on it, and it's very freeing and very comfortable, especially during the summer seasons. If you have a really lightweight fabric and they have a bell sleeve on, maybe even transition seasons. Okay, so that's that. The next one surprised me. I've never really used this one. So this one is kimono, K-I-M-O-N-O, kimono sleeve. It's kind of similar to bell sleeve, but it is a little bit different. I think it has more gathering to add a little bit more of a flare and kind of a gather look than the bell sleeve. And a kimono sleeve definition is a sleeve cut in one with the bodice in a wide sloped shape. So as you can see, like I said, they are kind of similar to a bell sleeve, but I think they have, the picture shows a little bit more of a gather to it. So that was interesting. Now some of these are kind of similar, and you'll notice that in the definition. Next is a raglan sleeve. Now this is one that I've wondered about, but I didn't know what style tag to put with it because I didn't know what the type of sleeve it was. It often goes in line with like a baseball t-shirt. You know how it has this stitching here, and then this is just fabric down here and going into the sleeve? That is a raglan sleeve. So let's read the definition. So having a denoting sleeves that continue in one piece up to the neck of a garment without a shoulder seam, like we just talked about. You can see the picture here. And like I said, baseball t-shirts, baseball shirts are very similar to that type. You do kind of see it in blouses and stuff sometimes, but just not as much as like baseball shirts. I personally love baseball shirts. I think they're cute, especially when they have the stripes on the sleeves. I think they're adorable. Okay, so that's what that is. So I may start using that on some of my listings that are shirts like that. Because I have actually gotten some, and you could probably have that even in a short sleeve. It doesn't just have to be a long sleeve. So I actually have a couple listings I know of off the top of my head that might qualify for that. I'll have to go back and take a look. The next one is a very popular one. This cold shoulder sleeves have been around for a few years now. They've been really popular, especially spring and summer season. I think they're still popular depending on what state you live in, and what territory you're in. Let me see. So cold shoulder, a long sleeve that has a disconnected past the stitching on the top of the shoulder, but not underneath where the armpit is. So basically you have some sort of fabric here and then it's open on your shoulder and then down. We all know what cold shoulders are. I think many of us have been astute to what cold shoulders are. You definitely see that in a lot of listings, so I don't think that this one is a new one for us. But if you are new to reselling, you may be learning some of these new terms, so hopefully this will be a benefit and a blessing to you if you are new to reselling, and are looking for more style tag words. Hopefully this is a blessing. Okay, next is a Dolman sleeve. Now this one and the next one are kind of similar, so let's take a look here. So Dolman sleeve is a sleeve that is very wide at the top of the arm and narrows towards the wrist or elbow, cut in one piece with the body of the garment. And obviously you see the picture over here, I'm going to show it to you. And then let's go on to the next one because they are kind of similar. The batwing sleeve. Now, Dolman sleeve, I didn't really know what that was. Batwing sleeve, I did actually learn that one a few months ago and did actually use that in some of my listings. Now, what's the difference between Dolman and batwing? So it's a long sleeve cut wide at the shoulder with deep armholes that leads to the thin tapered wrist, giving it a wing-like appearance. So like I said, Dolman sleeve and batwing sleeve are kind of similar, but do have their distinct differences. So hopefully that helps with those types of sleeves. I know, again, like I said, I'm learning a lot doing this myself. I'm hoping to be able to be integrating these a lot more in my listings. So I'm really, really happy I decided to do this. Okay, the next one we're not going to do because it's just a puffed short sleeve, gathered sleeve. And it says raglan, but it's showing the same as the raglan from up front, up top, so I didn't do that one. Next is leg of mutton. This one was interesting because this actually showed more back in the older centuries. So let's show you here. And you'll see the picture up here. Raglan sleeve defines the leg of mutton sleeve as a sleeve with a full top gathered or pleated into armhole and add tapered to wrist where it looks like a regular sleeve. Yeah, I thought I had, oh, interesting. So fashion history timeline. I thought this would be interesting. Sleeves with full gathered or pleated into armhole, tapered wrist. Also a French gigot sleeve. This is something that has been going back for quite some time. We're looking at leaving like back in the 1400s they had sleeves like this. I'm looking at some pictures here. 1575. I mean, this is like we're back with Queen Elizabeth. So this has been kind of a very long-term standing type of sleeve, which I thought was really kind of interesting. It's not really a new one at all. But obviously we do still see sleeves like this today. So hopefully seeing this sleeve type will be a help to you. So leg of mutton. I keep wanting to say leg of muffin. Leg of mutton. Okay, the next one is a Juliet sleeve. And let me clock out of this one. And this one here, Juliet sleeve, is a sleeve similar to the leg of mutton sleeve. Again, like I said, a couple of these are similar. Full and gathered at the top with a lower part fitted and seamed to the top part. And I'm kind of wondering if it just went from leg of mutton sleeve to Juliet sleeve. That Juliet sleeve is now the newer term for what used to be I can never say that right. You know, that sleeve we just talked about. It's terrible. I'm kind of wondering if it was just kind of a transition from the leg of mutton sleeve to the Juliet sleeve, because it's basically kind of the same thing. So I'm just kind of wondering if maybe they just transitioned it to a new term. Okay, a cuffed sleeve. I'll put a picture of it up here. We all know what a cuffed sleeve is. Even if you're new to reselling, we all know what a cuffed sleeve is on a shirt. Basically where you just have the folded band at the, at the sleeve or the trousers. So that is really nothing new for us, but I thought I'd add it in there because it is a sleeve type. And some people may not actually be using cuffed sleeve in their description, when they have a sleeve like that. I know I never have, so I may start actually using cuffed sleeve as a style tag in my description and title for sleeves like that. Because like I said, we've always known what they are, but I don't think we're necessarily always using a style tag. Okay, we have 3 more. Petal sleeve. I love these sleeves. I think they're so elegant and charming and very sweet and beautiful. So petal sleeves. This sleeve gets its name from its shape, which is reminiscent of the petals of a tulip. The sleeve is sewn into the armhole in such a way that the pattern overlaps the arm. Again, I think that these are just so elegant. And you see these, they're kind of like cap sleeves, but they have the tulip aspect to it. So I think that they're just very sweet. So you could even probably, if you wanted to, put cap petal sleeve, if you wanted. Because it is a cap sleeve, just with the petal detail on it. Okay, so 2 more. Puffed sleeve, which again is very common. A short sleeve gathered at the top cuff and full in the middle. So we all know what puff sleeves are. We see them very frequently in sleeve types. But I don't know if we're actually using puffed sleeve in our actual descriptions for style tags. So again, we've been listing them, we've been seeing them, but are we actually using that? That is a good question. I know I haven't, so I may have to go ahead and do that. Okay, so we have 1 more, a split sleeve. And these again are very common in blouses. You don't really see them so much in shirts that aren't like a blouse type of shirt, but you definitely see them in blouses, and sometimes I think you see them in sweaters too. So a split sleeve, pretty basic information, is a sleeve that has a slit down the center, and sometimes you see it from all the way from the shoulder all the way down, but sometimes you even see like a slit and then some stitching, a slit and then some stitching, and then so sometimes they're kind of like that too. I don't know if you still call that a split sleeve, but they are split. I do know that I've never used this as a style tag in any of my tops if I've had that before. So again, we may be listing some of these items, but not always using these style tags in the actual listings or descriptions. If you already are, I say kudos to you. Again, sometimes we get caught up in just the basics of descriptions in our titles or our in our descriptions, that sometimes we forget about some of those detail style tags that we can be using in descriptions. So I think this is a really great thing to go through. Like I said, I know I've learned a lot, and I definitely have some tweaking and changing to do to hopefully be getting more attention on my listings. Again, I hope this really helped y'all. If you have other style tags that you would like us to research and look at in the coming videos, please feel free to put it down below, whether it's jeans or dresses, necklines or anything like that. Do feel free to let me know down in the comments below. I would love to incorporate that into some of our videos. I'd also like to talk about how Poshmark is doing, y'all. How are your sales doing? Because I know a lot of people here mainly list on Poshmark. Some people list on multiple platforms, granted. But a lot of the people who do list on multiple platforms, even if you list on like Depop and Mercari and eBay, Citizen, places like that, a lot of people focus first of all on Poshmark. And then some people focus first of all on eBay and then switch over to Poshmark. Those are kind of the 2 main. So I'm kind of curious how sales are going on Poshmark and eBay. Are you seeing an uptick in sales? And if you have you done anything different? Or do you think that we're getting to the point in the beginning of the year where we are going to start to see an increase? Or have you maybe added more new listings to your daily routine or your weekly routine? How was your week? Are your listings going well? Are you improving? Are you reaching the weekly goals that you want to reach? I know I am definitely working on some things, and I'm trying to work to improve my whatnot. I'm still doing the reseller chats, but I'm also trying to put some of the ThreadUp stuff that was in that big bulk box that we did the unboxings on. Some of that's going to be going into auctions. I'm also trying to work through and figure out what might go into ThreadUp. If I do that, I'll do a separate video on that. But also I am going to be working on doing a men's, women's, and kids combined, so that if people come into my shows and whatnot, I'm not just doing specifics of men's or specifics of women's or specific kids. I'm going to combine it all so that a mom or a wife can come into my show and they can just shop and stop for everything right in one show instead of having to go to multiple shows. So that's how I'm going to start doing things there on top of my weekly chats. If you guys would like to come check it out on Whatnot with us, you are more than welcome to join us. There has always been a link down below in the description, so do feel free to do that. I would also love to know if y'all have any more content outside of style tags that you guys would like to cover. I do believe we have some great things coming down the pike, you guys. We're still kind of early in the year. It's only February. Spring is just around the corner. If you're not listing your spring and summer clothes yet, I highly recommend you do that. I've already gotten a lot of people looking at that sort of stuff. Between shorts and tank tops and swimwear and all kinds of things. So if y'all aren't doing that, guys, if you have not yet subscribed yet, please do so you know when we're doing these weekly chats, unboxings, hauls, what sells, all those different great content. Guys, I'm so excited that you joined us today. I hope you have a really great week, and we'll see you in the next video.